Trump raising tariffs got China spilling all the beans on luxury brands. Yes. Not only luxury brands, a lot other of American products, down to modular homes. Check this out.
There's a tag saying made in China. The bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own factories and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries, which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little, very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have an Hermes bag, and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else, like leathers, zippers, and hardware remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those too long. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from us, from our factory in China, see the real world.
Not only did Trump raise tariffs, J.D. Vance called Chinese people peasants. Yeah, he took it there. But calling these people, these creatives, these artists, peasants, while needing their productivity, while needing their work, is diabolical.
To buy things that other countries make for us. And to make it a little bit more crystal clear, we borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture. That is not a recipe for economic prosperity. It's not a recipe for low prices, and it's not a recipe for good jobs in the United States of America.
World's first long-stable cotton gene sequencing product was completed here. Factories from this region are beloved by those world top brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Lacoste, Hugo Boss. Recent years, with the rise of emerging manufacturing countries like Vietnam and India, many might think that Guangdong's shirt industry might get impacted.
Stitching your product, 42% are Chinese artisans. We don't do cheap. We do underrated luxury. Why pay 2,000 euro for Parisian air? Same leather, same craft, just without the European fairy tale facts.
Turns out that Americans have been spending thousands on high-end garments, high-end threads that were actually being produced in China, then supplied to Europe. You know, then they get there, they remix the tag, package it off real nicely for you. You know, you got to dress it up, make it real for them, and then put on shelves and sold extremely high to consumers.
What I'm really proud of is that first, we have the best quality control. Two, we have the best craftsmanship. You know, Chinese craftsmen are always intelligent and diligent. Three, we have the most complete supply chain. We always get what we want, like zippers, accessories of any kind, any color, and leathers immediately. Now, as the USA and its little European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods, don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have good quality control and they don't have as good craftsmanship. Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy. Three, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting leather or zippers or any accessories. That is why they failed, and that is why we will always be the best OEM factory for luxury brands. Why don't you just contact us and buy from us? You won't believe the prices we give you.
Americans in uproar after realizing they've been slaves to luxury brands. And I hate that for them. Especially ones been going off calling people brokies and, you know, just looking down. We're actually the same. It was all a lie. Oh. What was me?
I'm only joking with you. Why your MAGA suddenly get also defensive and start throwing all this Western propaganda about China at me? Those propaganda created to enslave you. It doesn't work on me. I know real China.
You know, I want to say I'm highly ticked off. I'm highly upset. These shoes right here only cost 75 cents to produce. You know what? Real Gucci slides. I'm done. The hell with these Gucci slides. You know what? That's over here. China, listen. If y'all watching this, China, I have nothing against y'all. I want to personally say thank you. What they did was wrong. 75 cents for Gucci slides.
In reality, I've seen so many tragedies. Brothers killing brothers, all because of little jealousy. Too busy chasing cream, wanting these designer things. Blinded to the fact of the problems that money brings. But if it had no power, there wouldn't be levels.
You know, one of my ex used to hustle, you know, little knockout drip on the side. And like when he moved to my city, we introduced, you know, the people around, like, you know, we got this, we got that, flash, you know. And everybody was like, oh, nobody wearing no fake designer, and woo, woo, woo. Couple people caught now, don't get me wrong. It was going. But certain people was like, this and that. And I was like analyzing their situation, not being funny, but analyzing their situation at the time. And I was like, well, we got the material here. We got the product here. We got the stuff. We had the stuff. We ain't got it. We had the stuff. So if I'm dry snitching on myself, you know, now it's past tense. You should have caught me then. Now, we had the stuff. And people was acting like it was too good to purchase X, Y, Z. But now that this has come out, and it make you realize that you've been beguiled, misled, and you could have got the same thing for a better price. Hell, China cutting out the middleman. Now you could go directly to the source and get it for a low price. But during this time, we had a better price, all right? So you could have got it for a better price. And it's the same material, same-ish, same product, different tag. Same product, different tag. Same product, different tag. Things that make you go, And now that I think about it, most of these people, like I said, analyzing their situation, they saying that they was buying the official tissue, the real deal. They were spending, if they had a real deal, thousands of dollars on these products, on these items, living in mobile homes, living in apartments. So I'm looking at them like, their mental health isn't mental health. I know I'm stepping on some toes and it's gonna piss a couple people off. But for real, no, seriously. Like, that's why we got to chill on being followers. Like, because sometimes you'll be, misled. It's no big deal. It's the same stuff, all right? People telling you. And they're telling you where to go to get it. Period. Like, they like, what tariffs? What? Huh? Come again? What? They ain't playing. And it's the type of pettiness I'm here for. Like, I ain't mad. Not mad at all. This is really making America great again.
A Stanley Cup, $50. The the factory gets $1. $1. But when they sell millions of them, that's millions of dollars. And all surplus. That's where the surplus comes from. But for every $1 the factory made, somebody in America is making $49. Who is benefit from the globalization?
I've been eating long enough now. Stop being greedy. Let's keep it real, partner. Give to the needy.
And I get it's a doggy dog's world. I know people become accustomed to piggybacking off other people's ideas, creativity, expertise, productivity, their work. But China was like, absolutely not. Enough is enough. Like, for years, we've been getting the poop end of the stick. Not only have we been getting the poop end of the stick, but now you want to raise taxes. What? So, they putting their foot down. They're going to make America put some respect on their name. And that's that. Not only that, China now has made it legal to bootleg any USA product in their country. Yeah. The first to do it.
Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap labors. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud.
I show you the United States products in my home. Nothing. Do you have something from China in your home?
And not to mention the numerous senseless acts of crimes due to these materialistic things, these worldly things, right? People getting designer bags snatched, robbed for their shoes, got for their chains. Whole time by something that's superficial, that really truly has no value.
Yo, that jacket is the bomb. Thanks, I got it on sale at Ferguson's. Cool. Then you know where to get another one. I said give it up.
This bag right here. This one of many. It's a cute little bag. I like it. All right. But about $3-4 on Shein. Ain't nothing in here. A little smoke. Little blacks. Receipts from the store from the other night. Some gum. Lipstick, lip gloss. Child. If it was that time of the month, you girls know. Ain't nothing in here. And then you could switch it up. You could buy a couple of these, $3-4. Switch up the colors, you know. And now you got a collection. At a way better price. I hope it's open a lot of people's eyes. Hopefully it does. But I know people still going to buy those products. Hey, do what you want with your money. But I just thought this was interesting. Drop your comments, your thoughts below. Tell me what you think. Until next time, peace out.